Come on in. My name is Bill Tobin, and this is your restaurant success tip of the day.
Yesterday, we talked about confirmation bias regarding staff and assuming that your slackers will always be your slackers and that your star employees can do no wrong. Of course, we need to check those assumptions on occasion and make sure we are trying to build up our teams. But there's also a confirmation bias that your frontline staff are probably guilty of. It's easy to fall into a pattern where when staff see a party set in the restaurant, they immediately assume that the party is not going to tip well. I believe that inevitably everyone develops some type of these biases based on their experience in the restaurant and the type of restaurant they work in. And this could be a hot topic, and I'm going to try and keep the example a little plain to make the point without getting under people's skin. And the best example I can think of with doing that without opening a Pandora's box is that in a fine dining restaurant, if you might be a front server and a back server in a fine dining restaurant, and when a young teenage couple come into the restaurant, immediately the service staff is going to think they are not going to get a big tip from the table. Many of the veterans at fine dining restaurants are used to parties of 6 or 8 people celebrating some special occasion and ordering cocktails or several bottles of wine and appetizers to share. The bigger the check means the bigger the tip. And with enough special attention, the person who pays the bill will add on a little extra for great service. On the other hand, a young couple, teenage couple, or a young 20-something couple comes in the restaurant, they might not be old enough to drink even. And even if they are not likely to order several bottles of wine. And teenagers have a reputation for being not good tippers. They might say that. So the server ends up neglecting the young couple because they don't expect a great tip. Sure, they take the order and sure, they refill their waters, but they don't give them any special attention, and frankly, they just want to turn the table. So instead of offering the couple dessert, the server drops the check early. Now, the young couple, on the other hand, they might not have even noticed the poor service they got right away, but they were really looking forward to dessert and took offense to not being offered the option of dessert before the check was dropped, and decided to leave and go get their dessert elsewhere. But before they left, they made a point of leaving a smaller tip than they would usually leave, to show their displeasure with the service and not being offered the dessert. So of course, when the server collects the check after the couple has left, his bias is confirmed with the low tip, and the cycle repeats itself. The same thing will happen the next time a young couple comes in. These biases play out in restaurants every day, and my example, though a tame one, makes the point. Other biases might have to do with race, gender, sexual orientation, ethnicity, country of origin, many other things. Don't let yourself or your staff jump to conclusions when it comes to your guests. Stay consistent with your values and check your biases and their biases regularly. So your task for today, teach your staff about confirmation bias and how to prevent it in your restaurant. Now go make it happen.
Do you have a comment or a tip for restaurant leaders? Text me at 808-201-0550 or find me at restaurantleadership365.com. This is Bill Tobin. Thanks for coming in. See you tomorrow.